Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Keep Pushin' with SUJIT K. Reddy. I'm your host, SUJIT K. Reddy. And on today's show, we have an incredible topic that we're going to be exploring around family support, and sibling relationships in the disability community, disability world. And today we have Terrance with us, a good friend of mine who has a brother who does have a disability. Unfortunately, Terrance couldn't be here with us today. He's not feeling that well, but that's okay. I've asked permission, and we're going to be able to speak a little bit about him and the journey that these guys have had together. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. I've known these guys for quite a long time, seen them do some really cool stuff, incredible stuff, and that's why I wanted to have them on the show to kind of show all of you, how siblings are with each other. Whether or not, one sibling has some sort of disability, they are, in my mind, a really great example of what that relationship should be. So let's talk about you and your brother, and tell me a little bit more about your brother since he's not here today.
Sure.
Although, our viewers will be seeing videos and pictures of both of you. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about him and what you can tell us and
sure.
your relationship and such. Yeah.
So he's my younger brother.
Okay.
And as his older brother, I tend to be more of like a protector for him. And even when we were young, that always seems to be the case.
Right.
So my brother lives with something called Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
Okay.
And this is something that is genetic, so runs in the family.
Okay.
Two of our uncles also live with Duchenne muscular dystrophy as well.
Okay.
So when Terrance was diagnosed when he was 6, that year we actually got into a bicycle accident.
Oh, okay.
So I broke his leg that same year that he got his diagnosis. So I was probably about 10 years old when that happened. And so for a couple of years, what lived with me was that I thought I was at fault for his disability because I couldn't connect the two,
right,
that they were separate things.
Right.
So for a couple of years, that actually lived with me and thinking that, oh my goodness, I caused that for my brother. But as we got older, we understood that, I got an understanding that actually, that's part of his genetic,
right,
and
makeup.
hence he lived with what he had to go through. So watching Terrance grow up, as we grew up together, he's taught me a lot. He going through with all the different procedures I had to go through, all the doctor's appointments, the different surgeries he had to go through, and watching him go through each and every single day with a smile on his face has gave me and taught me a lot of understanding about strength and resilience over adversity.
Absolutely.
And I would say he is one of my greatest teachers in my life.
Fantastic. Okay.
In summer camp, when we were young, he was called, or his nickname at summer camp was Smiling Bob.
Nice.
So that's the type of person he is.
Yes.
And
yes, I know that for sure. Yeah.
You met him a couple times, and he's always
good laughs.
Always with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
So he definitely brings a lot to the table when he teaches myself and our family and our friends. So I'm definitely grateful that I've had this opportunity to grow up with a brother like Terrance.
Cool, fantastic. So something that comes to mind is you guys. I know this from knowing you guys so well. You guys have done a lot of traveling and a lot of special events and special things with special events and special things around the disability community.
Yes.
And the traveling is, you guys did stuff just to experience it and just to kind of overcome obstacles as you're traveling and such.
Sure.
I love to travel as well, as you know, as you've seen on my Facebook and such.
Yep.
So tell us about those experiences and those events and such that you guys have done together.
Sure. So when Terrance graduated from college, one of the challenges, and many of our friends, right, one of the biggest challenges is around employment, right? And so after a couple of years of Terrance not working, one of the questions I asked him was, well, what do you want to do? And what is your dream job, right? So as he was sharing with me, actually his first dream job was to be an NHL goaltender. Oh, and we had a good laugh about that, right? And because he plays power wheelchair hockey.
Right, cool.
Right?
Yes.
We had a good laugh, and I said, well, realistically, what would you like to do? And he's like, oh, I want to write sports. I was like, okay, great. And that's kind of where everything started, in us working together, and then inviting our friends together, in doing work together. You know, writing about their own personal experiences, and then also one of the major highlights was actually having our team go down to the Pan Am Games and cover the Pan Am Games when they were in Toronto just 2 years ago. So it really came from that, the fact that I saw a need of my own brother, and then also our friends, that was the catalyst around working on these different initiatives around enabling individuals with disabilities.
Yeah, and I mean, all the stuff that you've done is so important, and it's such important work that more and more people should get involved in, like whether it's siblings or families with people with disabilities especially, to kind of support those initiatives and carry them forward and make sure that they have really positive outcomes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one thing that I noticed, because I had a chance to drive across Canada this year, and I went to visit some of the social enterprises, is I noticed a lot of social enterprises started because the parents or a relative saw a need for one of their loved ones around employment. And a lot of these social enterprises started because of a family need. So to me, kudos to all the families out there that care about your loved ones to provide these opportunities. Unfortunately, well, I guess unfortunate that it's mainly grassroots work that's happening. So we definitely need to see much more of this to take place. But definitely family plays a big role in seeing this need and then actually being the catalyst for their loved ones and also for other people.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So to be able to have driven across Canada and meet other families that are doing this was just incredible.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on all of that. You know, and one of the reasons why I love doing this show is because because it lives right now on the website and on the internet, it gets to reach so many people around the world with disabilities and allow them to be empowered, to empower themselves, but then empower others through just a spark of an idea that they may have that, hey, I can actually do this in my community. Nothing's happening in my community. Let's make it happen. So absolutely, and so that's why I like having guys like you on to kind of promote that and motivate that whole thing. So with all the traveling that you guys have done and you've done and such, what do you see for the world in terms of where there needs to be more done for the disability community and also accessibility, which is part of that, and that's for everybody actually, and also just not only in Canada but around the world as well.
So I'd say there's two parts to it. One would just be being open-minded, especially around businesses that are in travel and business owners in the different cities, to be open-minded and know that there are many people that have different needs that will be a customer. So really to understand that and to know that it is a worthwhile investment to make. Having traveled to even all the different cities across Canada, I would say that Toronto, Vancouver, and Winnipeg are definitely quite accessible. Whereas the other cities still has work to do. So we're definitely very lucky to be in a city like Toronto.
Absolutely.
So to me, that's one piece, just having an open mind and around listening to customers and listening to potential customers. I would say the second piece is don't forget about us as siblings. I know that from speaking with other siblings that also have siblings with disabilities, is that we tend to be, I wouldn't say forgotten, that may be like a terrible word to use, but sometimes not talked about and not provided the support that we need as well, and to seek out self-care.
Right.
So 2 programs in Toronto that I know of that provides sibling support.
Oh, okay.
One is called the Young Carers Program.
Okay.
Wonderful. It's for youths, I think up to 18 years old. And then the other one is hosted by Extended Family, and they provide both youth and adult sibling support programs too.
Fantastic.
So to me, having experienced it myself,
Sure.
My own challenges as a sibling,
Yes.
Providing care and support for my brother, I definitely went to seek out support too,
Okay.
for my own well-being and self-care.
Okay.
So I highly suggest siblings to do that too, because you matter and you need to take care of yourself too.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, I really want to bring your brother into this because even though he's not physically here with us right now at this moment, he's going to be out there watching.
Of course.
And he's going to give me heck if I don't include him in some way. So there's that. So can you tell us a story, a positive story, where your example being you and your brother as brothers and siblings as whatnot,
True.
gave other people hope or a new perspective on what it is to be a person with a disability with your brother, but then also someone who cares and loves for them and respects them. Because I know these guys have a lot of respect for each other, and they laugh and they joke and they have really good fun together. We all have had. There are pictures about this. But you know that there are people in the world that, when it comes to people with disabilities, you and I both know this, that they're not comfortable because they don't have a person with a disability either directly in their lives or indirectly in their lives. And so they don't know how to act or react. So if you would, it doesn't even need to be a Canadian story. It can be a story internationally as well.
Well, like I mentioned to you earlier, I'm definitely blessed to have been able to grow up with my brother, right? Because to me now, when I meet others that have different abilities, I don't really see any disability. Right? So to me, I definitely feel blessed that way.
Right.
In terms of stories, a story that could perhaps shed some light for others would be, so my brother loves hockey. He is a hockey fanatic, and he's been playing power wheelchair hockey for over 15 years.
Wow. Yes.
Won multiple MVPs as goaltender, played in national tournaments, right? So, like you and I love hockey. I don't know, you love hockey?
Of course.
We all love hockey.
Yeah.
So even though the style of hockey that my brother plays may be a little different, where they play, it's floor hockey, using a power wheelchair, may be different from the traditional hockey that we're used to on ice or maybe on the street. But he's like all of us. He loves hockey, he plays well, he's won MVPs, he's represented our city. So to me, just remember that all of us are the same in the sense that we love sports, we have hobbies, we all have lives. And to me, if anything, just remember that. When we're meeting others with different abilities, that's the thing to remember, so that to know that we're not much different from each other. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think referring to what you were saying earlier about the Pan Am Games or Para-Pan Am Games coming to Toronto, it was an eye-opener for a lot of people in my circle as well. Even though, you know, they'd known me for so long, it allowed them to see other people with other disabilities interacting and being all over the city and having fun and having a good time. But also in terms of their sport and seeing what they are really, really capable of doing. And I mean, so I mean, I got a lot of people coming up to me during that time, and even now, like, you know, with a better awareness and understanding. So I love the fact that this city had an event like that here. You know, and for you, I'm sure on your side of things, when you guys had your team doing stuff, you must have again, started stories with you and your brother, with people, you know, examples like that.
Absolutely.
So do you have any examples around that?
I would say what stood out for me when all our team members were down there they were interviewing other athletes and things like that. What really came back to me was like how awe-inspired they were too, the team. They're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm actually doing this.
Yeah.
And interviewing athletes that they looked up to.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, I can't believe I'm actually doing this. And I was like, yeah, you are.
Good stuff.
Believe it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And so there are many amazing, like incredible moments like that between me and my brother, all our friends that were involved.
Cool.
So yeah, it's cool. Definitely been an incredible journey.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, if people want to get in touch with you or your brother,
sure.
Is there a website or a way that they can get a hold of you guys?
Sure. So you could go to our website, www.enables.me. So that's enables.me. Or you could find us on the Twitter sphere, on Facebook as well. You could search for my personal. So it's, and that will all be on that website as well.
Yeah. And we'll be putting their names together on this broadcast, so you can get their names. So that's not a problem. As for me, my name is SUJIT K. Reddy. You can find me on all the social media channels. If you want to ever get in touch with me, please reach out. And if you want to be on the show or know somebody who would like to be on the show and has some sort of empowering message or story related to people with disabilities, to empower other people in Canada and the world, please by all means do reach out to me as well. For now, my name is SUJIT K. Reddy. I'm your host for Keep Pushing, and please do come back. We love to have all your comments and questions and keep serving you. So take care.